Hi, it's Tara. I'm talking about a perfume house that has kind of like been, I think, like it had its time, but now it's being like kind of lost its prestige, but I still love. And you can find their perfumes for really good prices. Um, and this is the house of Calvin Klein. And I want to say that Calvin Klein was really popular and in its peak kind of like when I was going through high school and even before. So, you know that Obsession was one of the first ones that they had, and Obsession for women, which I have a small version of, and I don't know where I put it, is that it's one of the my favorite ambers, and it's like one of the most masterfully blended ambers that I've ever had. It's very sexy. It has a little bit leather. It's just really smooth. It's slightly spicy. Has mandarin peels notes to it. That's one of my favorites. And everybody knows that it's kind of like a love-hate type of deal. A lot of people think it's maybe too vintage, but I feel like that something about it actually has like a timeless quality to me. And it's possible that I just feel that way because I was from that era, maybe. But just to let you know, when I was young, I could not appreciate the beauty of that perfume. I think young people, wholesome young people, that they haven't really lived life, and it's kind of like not the prettiest perfume, you know what I mean? It's more like a sexy perfume. It's hard for them to really appreciate the beauty of that until they get a little bit older. So, yeah. But there's some other ones that I never hear people talking about, and if you go online, you see these perfumes, which I think are really nice quality perfumes. They're really nice blends, and I still think they're relevant, you know what I mean? They don't get talked about at all, and they're selling for like under $20 for clearance or something. One of those ones is Eternity. And I have to admit, when I was in high school, there was a girl that wore this, and she wore like it. She wore a vat of it. She like sprayed it like 20 sprays or something, and it really turned me off because I didn't, so I associate it with her. It wasn't until I saw this being sold for like 15 bucks, like at a Marshall's or, Ross or something, that I bought one just for, just to see how it smelled, you know what I mean? Because it was like so cheap. And I started getting nostalgic. When you're in your late 30s, you kind of like look back on some of the stuff that you had back in the day, and you're wondering like, gee, I wonder how this smells now. You get this urge. So I went and bought it, and it turns out that it's actually really lovely. This, if you like freesia, and I don't think many things have freesia. So freesia is a beautiful white floral, but it has like a fruity plum like notes. So it's not just like your stuffy uh powdery up your nose aldehydic white floral. No, it has a strong natural plumish fruityish upper register of notes in that. So it's like really, really shows off the beauty of that flower. But not only does it have the freesia, but it has like also carnation, which is slightly spicy, lily, I think, and a whole bunch of other stuff, including a marine base. But the marine base, it's not obnoxious. It has a slight kind of a nostalgic, melancholic quality to it. In the beginning, it's kind of like a pure spring flower, but at the ending, it's kind of like poetic, you know what I mean? So I don't know. This is like both cheerful and also meditative to me. But if you love freesia, and this is only like under $20, if you ever have a chance to smell this, go for it. To me, I'm so happy I got my hands on this, and I think it's a high quality white floral that is very unique. Like in a sea of tuberose and all of these milky, like sweet, syrupy things, this is not syrupy. The texture is much lighter, it's more transparent, but the slightly spiciness of the carnation gives it more heft, you know, gives it some depth. It's not like a body spray, you know what I mean? Although it's not that heavy. So I really like this. It's kind of like got a really lovely blending. And yeah, so for a marine slash white floral with plummy upper notes, this is really, really good. I think this is very well balanced, very well blended, very good composition. And this is Eternity by Calvin Klein. They have also other Eternities too. They have Eternity like flankers, and those at first I didn't like them because I thought they smelled kind of like masculine colognes, and I was about to give it to my roommate who really, really loved it. Thank God I took one spray more, and then all of a sudden I started loving it, and I didn't give it to him, although he feels free to help himself to anything, you know, so it doesn't really matter. But I love this one. This one is very feminine and pretty. This one is Eternity, Calvin Klein. This is Eau de Parfum spray. Okay, check it out if you like Frisia or if you're curious. So next to that, I just got this recently. This was like $12.99. I kid you not. And this is Escape, and this is 3.4 ounces. And so, you know, I noticed that the bottle has changed throughout the years. I think maybe another company has probably taken over this formulation, because it used to be, I think that this was actually like, might have been like a flip top. I mean, I might be wrong. But this one is not as you know, I didn't like this one as much as I like this. But when I was wearing it the other day, the dry down is super, super nice. And it's like really, this is like a rose, but it's like an unusual rose. It's kind of like an aquatic rose and it's like, I think this might be more polarizing, the other one. It's not as light and feminine, so both men and women can wear this. It's not your syrupy rose. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's like an oceanic rose, but it doesn't have salty. It's not salty or anything. It's well blended. It's a bit more like linear than and less ethereal and spring-like than this. It's like slightly heavier, and this might be good for like fall instead of spring and summer. But this is also very unique too, and for like $12.99. It's pretty cool. I love the dry down on this. Like the earlier notes, I was like, okay, yeah, I remember this nostalgia. My friend wore this and she sat next to me. So I remember the top notes, but the dry down on this is really nice. It's like light and clean. You know what I mean? It makes your body smell really good. So I'm really enjoying the light dry down on this. And I'm really glad to have this in my collection. Another thing is this. So this was CK1. CK1 is one of my first perfumes that I ever bought for myself. In my perfume journey, I had been gifted as a early tween, like 11, 12, things like Beauty by Estee Lauder, Shalimar, Nina Ricci, L'air du Temps, Gucci No. 3, Paloma Picasso, and all these like heavy hitting stuff that the only one that I really liked was maybe like Beauty. But yeah, this was one of my first ones that I bought when I had a job by myself with my own money. So basically, I was intimidated by going to the beauty counters because back then the salespeople were very aggressive, and I was like kind of young and lacking in confidence, and I didn't, really want to buy my stuff there. So what happened was there was this place called Tower Records, and they had a mini like jar of these, like glass jar, like 1 ouncer at the counter. And I really loved going to Tower Records when I was young, and because they had everything, and you can listen to stuff too on headphones. So I bought all these CDs and stuff like that, and I came to and I bought like the small one of this, and this was like revolutionary. So this is like one of those perfumes that from the 90s that's kind of like a break from the feminine perfumes like this. So the thing about Calvin Klein is he really did start like trends. So the 90s was away from the white florals like this. These were like kind of more traditional, like white florals, like rose and stuff like that. And this was like your unisex perfume. And I think before that time, unisex perfumes did not really exist, or they were really not marketed towards that. There was men's colognes, and they followed a strict formula, and they were really kind of cologne-y and very harshly masculine. And the women's ones were kind of like stuffy, uh, powdery, like florals or orientals that were very spicy. So yeah, so Calvin Klein was one of those people that kind of had the cross boundaries. So he was one of the first ones that had this UCK1 that was kind of revolutionary. So this is like the forerunner to all the unisex ones and the synthetics, and you know what I mean? So this has a peach note, but it also had the cologne or something like that, which is like kind of like a metallic synthetic musk. And this was like what they would call clean smelling back in the day. Okay. So it was kind of like a neutral, peachy musk that was kind of metallic and good for both men and women. And this was considered really clean and revolutionary. Look at the dent on this. I have to say that if you're exercising and on a hot day, this thing blooms magnificently on your body. It smells really good. Another thing, so my next one after that is this. So this was also another 90s thing, and this was one of the first perfumes, and this is CK Truth, and you can see this is shaped like this, and what this shape is the half of a bamboo. So when you split a bamboo, it looks like this. It's like curved on one side and like flat on one side. And this is a gorgeous dewy. And by dewy, I mean you can actually smell the water on this. This actually smells like real lush, fresh cut plants with lemon and vanilla and lavender and lilac and vanilla. So the vanilla in this it's supposed to be really light. So this is a new one that I bought. This whole thing was like $19.99. Can you believe it? So it is actually supposed to be like this in color, but that turned into this. So it has bamboo, which is lush and dewy, and also vanilla, lemon, lilac. It just was outstanding. Not only did they have this perfume, which was one of my first like perfect clean girl feminine scents. It's lush, it's refreshing, it's uplifting, it's meditative. It's not in your face, you know, and it's like florals and freshness was natural. It smelled so natural, and it's still a classic for me today. So they also had versions of this where they split the notes into little travel sprays. So there was one where they had the citrus, one they had the lilac, one they had the lemon, and the one of the vanilla. So I had one of those too, but I don't know where I put it. I might have sold it or something like that. Yeah, but I never sold this. This is my original bottle from like 30 years ago or something. Isn't that cool? And I had used this much and I kind of like stopped using it because I was like one of these people that is afraid of ever running out of one. But now that I have this big bottle, I'll be using it some more. So this big bottle has been used up quite a lot too. Look at that. Yeah. So anyways, that's one of my favorite all-time perfumes. And one of the last ones that I really admired, I also have his Euphoria. Euphoria is like a sensual orchid one that is kind of rich and thick. And that one is one of the only vanilla orchid ones that I actually like. I think that is also well blended, but I didn't bring it out today. What I wanted to bring out was this, and this is a really cool one called Reveal. And this one has been since discontinued, but I really love it. And this one is a marine style. So this was one of the first ones, like a forerunner in this category. And the irony is that there's a lot of people that copied it, but those things are still around. This is similar to like maybe Bulgari's, like the one in the pearl, I forgot, Amara or something like that. Yeah. And there's another one, I think the squid from Zoologist, also kind of like similar to this. This is from like quite a long time ago, and I've actually used quite a lot of it. But since it's now like, it discontinued, I've stopped like spraying too much of it. So this one is like a salty marine type of ambergris, like slightly sweet vanilla, like body musk, I think. And this is very unique, and I love it because I got this super cheap from an outlet store, and you know, this is like 20 something dollars, and it might even be cheaper now. This has like a cool side magnetic lid like that, and that's really, really nice. And this is like a sensual salty skin, slightly suede, slightly marine musk, skin musk. It's kind of like, I think maybe it might have a little bit of sandalwood, but it's slightly creamy and sweet in texture, although it's not gourmand at all. And this is what I like about it. This is like a really intimate scent. I really like it. And yeah, so if you really like skin scents and, you know, slightly salty, but you don't want to spend a lot of money on some of these like more expensive ones, this is going for pretty cheap, I think. Yeah, give some of these a try. I mean, it's a shame, but it's also that people don't appreciate these anymore, and they're being sold for such little money. I mean, it's a shame for the prestige of the house. It's not actually a shame for us buyers. So yeah, if you're interested, they're not that expensive. I think the easiest one for most people to like is probably this CK Truth, followed by, you know, maybe this one, Eternity. But the rest of them are also like super cool. And for the price, you get a really well composed like perfume. Thank you. Please let me know your thoughts on this. Yeah, I had fun talking about this. I think I will start bringing out more stuff from the older stuff, you know, because maybe some people don't want to get like $300 perfume, and they still want a good perfume. You know, it's not, I don't think these are super dated. Well, I could be wrong. But anyways, I still like them. So yeah, I hope you like this video. I'll be back with another one. Please like or subscribe. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.